Good evening, everyone. I will be talking about this very interesting book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. So, I have started reading it recently, and I have found that a lot of lessons in this book are directly related to me, and I feel like a lot of people will understand this from their point of view. So, I'm just going to be talking about the first chapter, which is do not complain, condemn, and criticize, which is a very important thing because a lot of people are prone to find negatives in every single situation that is possible. And it is not something that we are supposed to do. It is just something that naturally comes. And it's not that we want to do it. But I've noticed that I did it a lot throughout my life. I used to find small, wrong things in every situation, try to find the one problem in a entire situation which was not correct. So what happens is a lot of people tend to start finding you very negative and start finding you a huge pessimist because they think that every time we go to this kind of person, this person's only going to find the wrong in everything that is possible. And they start nitpicking, so you basically start becoming unapproachable because no one wants to come to you. They know that every time they do come to you for even a solution, you're just going to find out what is wrong. So that is basically what you're not supposed to do, because the one lesson that you should actually focus on is to be more approachable. And if you're more approachable in terms of understanding people, understanding situations, and not criticizing even the small things, then people would be able to speak to you better and understand you better. So just want to talk about a lot out of it. So I have a little sister, and she keeps coming to me. She shows me all the videos that she keeps making, and every time she tells me something, I always find the faults in it. I keep telling her this is wrong, that is wrong, and she often gets really demoralized. She thinks that I am never positive about anything that she does. So one day I just noticed that instead of coming to me, she directly went to my parents and she started showing them the same thing that she could have shown me. And I felt really hurt. I was like, I'm supposed to be the one who is supposed to review this. Why are you going to them? So I didn't think about it that much because I didn't take it seriously at that point of time. And when I read this book, the first chapter, I actually understood that probably because every time she shows me something, I'm finding a mistake in it. She doesn't want to approach me anymore. So after that, for the past, I think 1 or 2 weeks since I've been reading this book, I've tried to compliment her here and there. Anything she shows me, however good or however bad it is, I tell her it's really good. So I have seen that she's now confident, so she is able to approach me. So in the end, what happens is if you reduce the amount of negativity that you put out into positions or situations or anything, people will find that it's easier to come to you. And I think if you're easier to approach, then that is the first step to winning people and making them like you. So thank you.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Saurabh, and today I would like to share a topic, Excusitis, from Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz. So in our life, at some point, we have blamed our failures to some kind of an excuse, and we never realized that this kind of excuse, when repeated over a long period of time, it becomes a habit of our ours. So what we find that the people who are most successful, they are less inclined to make excuses, and there are four kind of excuses that usually people make. These are health, intelligence, age, and luck. So I would be covering about health and age today. These sort of excuses. So coming to health, in human body or in every individual, there is some sort of ailment. So we can say that no one is 100% physically perfect. But what happens that a few people, they take this as a part of a barrier between them and their success, and they make it a habit that everything that is not working, they relate it to that their health, or some part of their health, that it is not working, or I could have done this in a better way if I would have this sort of health, or I would be in at this level of health. So to overcome this, we can do a couple of things. That is, to we have to stop refusing talking about our health, and we have to stop worrying about our health, that no, we are in a bad shape, or we are not in a good state of health. And we have to be grateful about what or how is our health state right now. Okay, a few examples of the people who were having a serious health ailment, but still we know them as a very good successful people like Stephen Hawking, Nick Vujicic, who is born without arms and legs, and this is about health excuses. For age excuses is like people are blaming that if I would have been younger or elder, I could be more successful. So there is no barrier on your success uh, depending on your age. There are people who are very younger and they have done PhD degree, and there are people who have find success at a very later part of their health, like Ray Kroc and Colonel Jill Sanders of KFC. They have find success at a very later part of their life. So to aid from health executives, we need to remind ourselves often that we have to look at our present age positively, and we have to look on the new horizons based on that. That is what I would like to share, and I would like to end it with that. Either we can make excuses or we can make records. Thank you.
Amazing, Saurabh, as usual.
Hi everyone, good evening. So today I'm going to speak about a very interesting topic. The reason why I said it is interesting is it's about money. You know how we manage our the money, and so this is from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and the first chapter, Rich Don't Work for Money. So here, so Robert, when he was kid, the author basically, he wants to know how he can become rich, and how, he was very curious, and so he goes and asks his dad, can you give me some advice as to how I can become rich and famous, because he finds a lot of challenges in his childhood. There are a lot of friends in his school start teasing him, saying that he doesn't have money and he belongs to a poor family, while his dad gives him advice, saying that you should be studying well, get a good job, and earn salary and become rich. Uh, Somehow he is not very convinced with it, so he goes and meets his friend, and they both discuss, and they uh, they go and reach his friend's father, who's in the book called referred to as Rich Dad, Mike's father. So they go and talk to them to understand how I can grow rich, and how I can start thinking from the perspective of money. So that's how the rich dad gives him a job, saying that I can teach you. You need to work for 10 cents an hour on every Saturday. So here the kid, they start working, and then Robert finds that he wants more money. He goes and talks to the rich dad. So basically, the rich dad gives him a perspective. The real life, he says, what you learn in the school or college is very different from what you learn in the real life. So he talks about when you start working, you study well, and then you get into a job and you start earning. There are two things which derive. One is there is a desire to earn more so that you can start buying things, whatever you wanted. And the other thing is the fear of losing money. So once there is a saturation that the salary doesn't increase further, you start looking for a different job. So that's something called as a rat race. And when you work for money, the first thing is you pay taxes to the government, and only then you start receiving it. And once you receive it, you have to end up paying for your bills and EMIs. So fear and desire are two emotions which he talks about how you can use it in your favor and not against you. So while job is a short term solution and for a long term problem, the real cause of poverty is fear and ignorance. So while most of the people might be thinking that I'm poor because the government doesn't provide me subsidy, that's not the case. It is the fear and ignorance. I don't know how to apply my learnings and how I can automate my income. So here I just want to mention on one thing which I learned by reading this book. How can I start thinking of an option which allows me to work on some idea where I don't have to work for money, but the money works for me. an example to this is KFC chicken, which Colonel Sanders, he started at the age 62, his famous recipe of KFC. And this is really kind of, while he's not here today, even then there's a lot of money, which is drawing from his business. So the summary is basically success can come at any age. And the question is, are you prepared for it? So are you using your emotional thinking or logical thinking? So you will have to start thinking, am I going to have a dream of getting rich through job, or do I work something on my own? More to share on this next week. That's about it. Thanks for the opportunity, Karthik.
Thank you so much, Arun. I think the most important chapter, the lesson is lesson 1. In fact, we also have Nasir who will be covering one aspect of the first lesson. We'll take it maybe in next 5-10 minutes. And it's so connecting. In fact, the first time when I read, I felt like someone did conspiracy with me. Nobody told me the information which the book told in just one lesson. And I did all this education, society approved, all those things. Why people did not share? And I was so furious. And the moment I got to know, I started, I maybe almost took a day off and finished the book in one go. I was so hungry to know what exactly there was there in the book to really understand. And few of the terms which was not easy to understand, that is Vijay helped me to really understand the crux of the book as well. So I highly recommend people to read this book because it's simply amazing. Great. So
today, myself, Charanjit Singh, I'm basically from Punjab, but working in Pune. So today my topic is about, it's more from the, I would say, the excitement point of view, the people who lose the excitement, whatever they want to do in their life. So though this chapter is about, it talks more from the selling point of view, but that the key learning that I will share with you guys, so that you can implement everywhere, I would say. So this is a chapter, the first chapter from a book named How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. So the author of this book is Frank Bettger, and he talked about his journey and how he succeeded in his life. Earlier, he was in start of his career, he joined as a professional baseball player, but later he had to drop and due to some accident that he met, and then he switches the career. But yeah, it talks about his overall journey, and then the key learnings I would share at the end. So here the author talked about he joined as a baseball player, but the league that he joined, he had some kind of fear when he was comparing with the other team members, and he had that fear, and that fear actually pushed him to the back, and he was considered as a lazy player by his team. So eventually what happened, his manager fired him up. So he was thinking like, so he asked his manager what was the reason. Then he was expecting that he would say the laziness, but he said ki, you were not lazy, but you were treating like a lazy. What can be the reason for that? Then he mentioned that he had a fear. He had a fear in his mind that he is not good, he is not up to the level, and that thing was pushing him back. So he said, so from now onwards, whatever happened, let it happen. But going forward in your future, whatever you will do, put some excitement in that. Whatever profession, whatever thing that you want to do, put some excitement, bring some enthusiasm in that. So guys, the key learning that I also learned from this chapter, it talks about, okay, though sometimes we want to achieve in life, but if you don't put emotions, if you are not excited what you are doing, if you don't show enthusiasm, you will not able to get the 100% result of that. So uh, so you have to be enthusiasm. I'll take example of this book club, people who are joining on a consistent basis. You have seen the lots of speakers who already spoken, right? You might have seen the power of enthusiasm that they had. Okay, the way every word that they were saying, that was so powerful, and we were feeling connected, right? Why it was happening? Because they were bringing emotions and they were excited about the topics. Even if you come to this book club but you are not excited at the topic that you are going to speak in front of the book club members, eventually you will feel like you are just coming and you are just going. Okay, there is no learning. You will not see the growing path that you actually should be at, right? So even today I'm saying these things with some excitement, because this chapter really fired me up. I was on a neutral base, I would say, but now I'm feeling like if I have to deliver something, I should be excited, because if I'll be excited, then the people will feel connected. You can implement this learning anywhere, whether you are in selling field, if you want to pitch your customers, your new clients, prospective customers, that reflection of enthusiasm should pass to the customers. You will see the amazing results, guys. So this was my learning from this chapter. Thank you, Kiran.
Amazing, Charanjit, as expected.
So good evening, everyone. I am Nasser from Bangalore. I'm working for United Health Group. So today I'm going to share my learnings from the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad Again, chapter 1. So before this chapter, there is an introduction part. So I would like to give some brief about it. So the author says like he has two dads. One dad is rich and another is poor. And one would say, I can't afford it. Another would say, how I can afford it. And one dad would say like the love of money is the root of all evil, and other would say the lack of money is the root of all evil. So both that has a different point of views. So choosing one of the view was difficult. So this forced the author to cultivate a habit of thinking before adopting or accepting any point of view. So first learning from this book I could pick is cultivate the habit of thinking. Don't just accept any point of views anybody is sharing with you. So further, the next learning is our education system is not designed to teach us money matters, how money works. Our education, colleges, or any professional courses, they are mainly focused on improving our skill set. But money matters are taught at home, and families are not that great, especially who are from poor background. They don't know how actually money can work. Then third, and the important learning is where the chapter first chapter is about rich don't work for money. So what happens? We have fear of having no money, so which motivates us to get up every morning and go to work, then pay bills, again get up, go to work, pay bills. So this becomes a cycle, and later greed and desire makes sure that we are stuck in this cycle, and this becomes a pattern. So we are controlled by two emotions mainly. One is fear and another is greed or desire. So to overcome, we need to use our mind rather than reacting to our emotions. So these are three main learnings I could take away from the first chapter. Thank you.
Amazing, Nasir. Every time you speak, I think this is one of the best talk of yours. Very polished, the flow, the delivery was superbly nice. Because
I am from Bangalore and I am Revati. So today the topic that I am going to share is about auto suggestion. It is from Think and Grow Rich book. Okay, so before I get into the topic, like I just want to share my own personal story. Okay, but yeah, definitely at that time I don't know anything about the auto suggestion or the subconscious mind and all those things. But when I was going through this chapter, I was able to relate very well. Okay, like what had happened with me. So this is something like when I started my career, might be 8 years back it was. Basically, since I did my master's in stats, I used to love the stats so much that I couldn't enjoy my job, whatever I was doing. Okay, and I was frustrated so much that it became a very strong desire that I really somehow I want to get into a proper the core, whatever I mean, what my master's was into. So I mean, it was so. I mean, the desire was so much that I cannot explain you. Like morning and evening, every time, whenever I wake up, I used to read completely that. And when I go to office also, I used to do the same. Like I used to start and end my day with the whatever is required for my profile. Okay, what I was actually looking into, it was so deep that I cannot explain you. Like one day my uncle was asking me to send my own profile, okay, for a matrimony, and I have shared my resume in place of that. So I done that once. And the second thing I remember, I went to a shop to pay my bill or something. So instead of opening the my mobile wallet, I actually opened the Naukri and I was just checking where do I pay from. So I mean, it was so deep. I cannot explain you that I was like, I want the job anyways. I want to get into that profile. So then I was keep attending the interviews, and then once I attended an interview where it was for a, my same profile, like what I was doing into. But the way like I really performed, they were impressed, and they actually offered me the role, which is much higher than the profile that I actually went for. So like it was very happy. I mean, I cannot explain that in words, but it was so special moment that I can say, because I really didn't attend for that. But might be that's what, like I started believing, okay, when we really want something, might be, I think it's a law of attraction or anything that I don't know, things just come like that. So just to summarize what I wanted to convey here is, see, when we really want something, we need to have a strong desire for it. And also, it's not just the desire, you have it, you also need to have the faith and the emotions for it. Okay, so when you have these two things, and you let's say, suppose that you want to earn very good income, so you need to really think of it day and night, and might be write it so that you can see everywhere wherever you go around. So that way your subconscious mind, it knows it, and it will believe it, and then it will, things will eventually happen. So it's not always the logical mind also. Okay, so certain things we need to believe it, and we have to do for it. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope I have conveyed the message. Thank you.
Conveyed it loud and clear, Revati. I think one of the best talk of yours. You conveyed it exactly what exactly the chapter talks about with your own story and summarize it beautifully. I think there's no explanation needed for anyone now. Wonderful, Revati. Great. So
very auspicious. Good evening all. So let me share my screen first. Wait. So belief, which is so very important for all of us, because when you start believing in yourself, no, so then the mind actually, what my mind perceive and what it believes, that everything can be achieved. So what are my takeaways from the chapter is, never sell yourself short. What we actually do, we see the people around us and we start comparing, like we are not capable of that. We should do something less of that. We should minimize our dreams. So this is a major problem. Why set limits? So I just want to share my incidents. Um, um, Before my board exam, I just start thinking that, what if I score 90 won't score 95 or 98%. So this hit me hard, like from the morning till the evening I became the hopeless person, or very my willpower was lost somewhere. So this was something then when you start giving a signal, negative signal to your brain. So Mr. Defeat, as David said, Mr. Defeat actually start working with his own potential, and it gives the reason of many what if questions. So what happens when you start a signal, then many what if questions like negative thoughts. So you will criticized by the society, you will not do anything in your life. So many questions were there, and definitely that win and you lose here. So this is very important. Firstly, never sell yourself short, and never give negative signals. From that, how you think when you get a setback in life determines how long it will be till you succeed. So when you get some failures, you just accept and believe in. And the most important that think big, spread, just extends your thought process, and just believe in yourself. My favorite quote is here is visualize your highest self and showing like her. So that actually I did so when I talked to various corporate in my company in various events like CEO of and vice president of any giants like Enrock, Loda, Whirlpool, Samsung, any giants. So what I did now, I just assume visualize my highest self, like I am a corporate professional like them, like CEO. So I put my opinion there, and definitely I get success there. Like I don't get hesitate there, and successfully I just convey my point there. So when you shift growing up in school, so you just find that how we are atmosphere with negative vibes. So we should actually think over that how we can believe in ourselves, as well as how we can visualize the highest point of our life. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Amazing, Samiksha. Beautifully covered. I think I didn't know our team has so many creative people. So
Today I'm going to talk about the one of the important topic from the how to win friends and influence people. That is the topic is how to get cooperation from the people. Okay, so I just wanted to share two incidences here from my real life. So as I am a .NET developer, so most of the I think programmers can correlate these things with their things as well. So I got into an incident where I got some assignment where I need to change the existing code. Okay, and that code was written by some guy who was there, who was senior to me. So what I did is that whatever I thought, I just changed the code, and I just checked in the code. I committed the changes and told that guy that I made the changes, so everything is done. Okay. So after some time, the guy came. Even though my work was correct, the guy came, and he was just like scolding me. How did you change that code without asking me and all those things? The conversation went into very wrong direction, and uh, we got bitter experience around that experience. Okay, out of that incident. So the same incident happened after some time. Now this time I was so careful about that how to handle such situation like that. So at that time I was not aware of the things whatever I am learning right now. Okay, so at that time what I did is that I made the changes, but I never committed those changes. I never checked into those changes. Okay, I went to the guy. I just went to the guy who already was working on the same thing and who already made those changes, and I was doing changes in his code. Okay, I went to the guy and I told him like the existing code was really good, really good. It was working nice, and it was very nice to debugging that code. Going through it was very understandable. But however, the whatever requirement we got, new requirement we got, I just wanted to change this code. And but before making these changes, I just wanted to confirm with you that that is how I am going to proceed. How do you think about it? Because initially you worked on it, it's your code. Okay, at that time, at this time, the experience was very different. This guy was very cooperative. He he was explaining each and everything like that, how this code was written initially, what was the motto behind it, and all those things. And he also mentioned that whatever changes you made, those are really great changes that will really augment the functionality of the product. Okay, so how this magic happened actually? Okay, so this magic happened because I made that person feel important, because ideas was his idea initially. I was just changing those things, but I made that person feel important, that it's your idea. I'm making some changes, but I want your permission or your suggestions to make the changes. So the one question comes out of this is that, don't you feel important when your ideas are discussed and you got some suggestion over it to augment your idea, so that your importance will be at the much higher level, so that you will feel much important, you will feel much better. So that is the whole idea, how we can get the cooperation from the people. So let the other people feel that his or her idea is very much important, or the idea is his, you are working on those ideas on top of that. So that's it from my side, Kiran. Thank you very much.
Amazing, Prakash. Prakash is like one of our firebrand speakers. Huh? We have our firebrand speakers, so people who are new. So every book club, we have an invited guest series. And almost a couple of weeks back, we had Vijay himself in our book club, where Vijay financially is very, very successful. He's wealthy, he's financially free. He doesn't do job also anymore. He brought his whole essence of coaching and mentoring people in finance, and he gave his nuggets how to become financially successful by connecting an Indian crowd. And that was an amazing financial literacy session. People who have not attended it in the book club, you can take the recording of the book club from the YouTube channel. You'll get a glimpse of it. But on top of it, the icing on the cake is that Prosenjit is here with us, also a firebrand speaker again in PM community. He has got that financial literacy. He'll give you an amazing level of revision, as well as a few tips coming from Vijay himself, and few things we've already implemented in life as well. So with no delay, Prashant is a firebrand. Prosenjit, let me just spotlight you. The stage is all yours, ready to fire.
Thank you so much, Kiran, for the warm welcome. Hello everyone, this is Prosenjit. I am from Jamshedpur, but currently working as an IT analyst in Bhubaneswar in a top-notch MNC. So before starting my topic, I would like to congratulate you guys. Such a great speakers, man. You have got such a firebrand all around, right? Samiksha, I was really inspired by the PPTs he has made. Man, there is so much free space at the top, and always go first class. Man, I love it directly. Means if you want to go first class, you know what is the first thing you require? Money, right? That is the finance part. So today I will cover that part, that how you can be financially free, how can you do what you want to do, what is your passion all about, right? And I will cover the finance part today. So before starting, I will tell you all of you that take a pen and paper and jot down only the key points. Don't go into detail because it will be a little fast. So only jot down the key points, and whatever you could not understand, please get in touch with the person who has invited you. They will help you to understand it. Okay. And one more important thing, the PPT what I'm showing, I will not share it. So make good notes of it. Right. So let me share the PPT. So this is the crash course on financial literacy, as I term it, because it will give you all the crux that you need. Because if you see the PIM, what is the vision of PIM? That we will empower you, right? We will not force you to do this, don't do that, don't invest in stock market, don't buy a home. We will not do that. We will give you all the things that you need to make the decision you yourself, right? Because as the saying goes, that it does not matter how much you earn. What matters is how you manage what you earn. So let me help you in that area today. So before coming to the finance part, if you see why this finance come into picture. So there are basically 5 stages of life. So this is the 5S. So first is the survival zone, where the people are, day-to-day labor, they are there, they go to job and they do something and they earn the money. If one day they do not go to work, they will not get the money. So their survival will be at stake. So I'm sure we all are here, nobody is in the survival zone. We are at least in the security zone. Security zone is the person who has a assured source of income at the end of the month. Like you are doing job, business, or whatever you're doing, you'll get the something at the end of the month. So next comes the success. So I will not go into detail in the success because different people have different definition of success. So, but the bare minimum, have you seen any people successful thinking about money? Ye kharidna hai ki wo kharidna hai, how to money budgeting, all those things, they don't care, because the person who has already success, the bare minimum thing is whatever their expenses are currently, monthly expenses, they have taken care with a passive source of income. Even if they are not there, their income will come. That is the bare minimum thing to become success. Next comes the significance level. So if you see all these people, there's John C. Maxwell, if you see Mr. Vijay himself, if you see, he is in the life of significance. As John C. Maxwell rightly says, the life of significance is when you add value to yourself, that is success. When you add value to others, that is the life of significance you live. And the ultimate goal in life is spirituality. If you see most people after the age of 40, 50, they go to the spiritual side, like they attend the seminars and webinars of the Babas and the Gurus. It is natural, very natural. But the real corruption and the main negative comes when one tries to jump from one level to one stage to another. Suppose one person is in security, they directly jump to spirituality. हम तो जॉब करते अचानक बाबा बन गए, हिमालय चले गए. That's where all the corruption comes. Internally they want money, but outside they cannot show. Outside they are Baba. That's where all the corruption and negativity comes. So don't try to jump. Don't try to go directly to spirituality. First, achieve the level of success as soon as possible. Then go for higher self. Right. So now, most of the people think, "Arey, paisa kyun chahiye? Aisa moh maya hai," all those things. But one most important thing people forget is that money will give you choices. Right. It does not matter. It means wealthy. If you are a wealthy person, does not mean a lot of money. Wealthy is having a lot of options, right? The house you are living in, the car you are driving, the sofa you are sitting on, all these things. आपका वो dream था, vision था, or that is just out which you can afford right now, right? You don't have choice. That is the only thing you can afford till today. So what is the importance of money? It will give you at least 2-3 choices, right? Even if you tomorrow, who would not like to move in with a big villa with their family, with their kids? Why not? Why not own a Mercedes, right? But we cannot do that right now. Why? Because we don't have that much amount, that much money, right? We don't have that choice, that freedom, right? So all this inspiration, and most of the inspiration, most of the people, you must have played this game, cash flow game. So even if you're not played, you can go to this website and you can play it. It's a very famous game by the author. You all must be reading the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, Robert Kiyosaki. He has only made that game. So you can play that. So all those key terms that today I will jot down for you. So you directly write the heading. Do note the point, keep a pen and paper, just write the heading and try to understand what I am telling and get the gist out of it. Okay. So the first fundamental term that you all should know, that income क्या होता है? जो monthly money received, right? The monthly money, whatever you can receive from job, business, stock market, part-time teaching, all these things are income. And expense, whatever monthly you are spending, loan, EMI, car, TV, fridge, all these things are expense. Okay, this is income versus expense. So the next comes, what is assets and what are liabilities? Assets are, means if you have read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, it also mentions this, something which puts money in your pocket. But what's important is every month. Whatever puts money in your pocket every month, that is called an asset, right? Like books, CDs, movies. Once they make the books, every month they will get some royalty out of it. And liabilities, which takes money out from your pocket, like car, house, all these things. Baby part I was not clear, because when I played the game, I read the book before also, but once I paid the game, then pata chala baby bhi to liability hai. Why? Because it will also take money out from your pocket, right? That's a simple definition. So that's school education, and they are taking care of, they are a liability. So next comes the active income and the passive income. So active income is your physical presence is required to generate the income. Means if you go to job or stock market trading, part-time teaching, if one day if you don't go to part-time teaching, they will not give you money, right? So that's your physical presence is required. But in passive source, such a powerful source that your physical presence is no more longer dependent. You have to generate the money, like books, CDs. Once the author writes the book, whenever you buy a book, some royalty points go to the author also. So that's the passive source of income. So always focus on building the passive source of income as soon as possible. So the next term, which most of the secret, the top secret, I will tell you, this is the cash flow. Whatever you do in life, that this cash flow should come from a passive source of income, and it should be positive, because cash flow can be 0, positive or negative. If you earn 500 rupees and you spend 500 rupees, then your cash flow is 0. You are not saving anything. You will not achieve that financial independence, right? So next term, most of the people confuse cash flow with capital gain. लोग सोचते हैं हम तो घर खरीद लेंगे, gold खरीद लेंगे, like FD कर लेंगे, but all these things give you capital gain. Instantly, they will not give you any cash flow, right? So whatever the profit you will get over the time, it will increase in value. And then once you sell it, you will get the money after 10-20 years. So our whole aim should be to create a positive cash flow. So this is about the cash flow versus the capital gain. Okay. Now let's take an example of a home, right? I have given example of a home. You can take car, baby, anything you can put here. So let's take an example of a home. Suppose I have kept all the values very low. Okay, what is the real below real? Okay, if you see 3 BHK 60 lakhs kahin nahi milne wala hai aapko. Interest rate 7%. It is always 9 to 10, right? Above 9. And the home loan amount, if you see, if you take a 60 lakh home, down payment you have to do 20%. That is 12 lakh. And the loan tenure will be 20 years. Can you believe that? For 20 years, you have to give the EMI. And what is the EMI? 37,214. So there can be two scenarios with home. You will either live yourself or you will give for rent. So the first scenario, if you live yourself, there is a negative cash flow of 37,000 per month. And the second scenario is you give it for rent. So for rent, once you suppose you get a 20,000 rent, then also there is a negative cash flow of 17,000. And one of the top secret that nobody tells, that once you give the down payment of 12 lakh, if you even keep it in fixed deposit, you will get a 6%. That is the 6,000 rupees per month is also lost every month, right? So this is all about the home, because there is no home that you can get today that will give you instant cash flow. Means after EMI also, your cash flow will be positive. That home is very difficult to get. Even if you get it, you should grab it, right? It is not possible in today's scenario. So next comes the सबसे hot topic. सबको लगता है हम तो stock market जाके अमीर हो जाएंगे, like, but it is not that case. But stock market, if you see, I'm not discouraging anybody to do it. It is a good option for only the experts. Let me now define expert. According to Robert Kiyosaki also defined the expert. Expert is a person who has seen the ups, the downs, and then again ups of the market, right? Who has seen profit, loss, and again profit. The person who has only seen this complete cycle is an expert. If you are getting only profit, you are not an expert yet. You have to explore the market more, right? And the best option would be not to go for stock market initially, because it is very risky for a new beginner. First, we should always focus on achieving the life of significance, right? We have to go, first we have to, whatever our expense is currently, we have to make a passive source of income. We should have surplus money to invest in that, right? To build the passive source of income. Next, if you see that also there is a huge cash flow, means if you need a huge cash flow from stock market, you have to have a huge lump sum, right? 30-40 lakhs you need at least to make a huge cash flow, but that is not possible with the initial stages of life, right? So it is not advisable initially. ऐसा ना हो जाए आप stock market लगा दिए, the stock market goes ups and down, your heartbeat also goes ups and down. That should not happen, right? We have to be healthy also. So next comes the how you will achieve the life of significance and beyond. So the basic criteria that I have told, that whatever is your current monthly expense, it should be taken care by a passive source of income. So suppose your current monthly expense is 50,000, so that 50,000 should be come from a passive source of income, right? So how you will calculate this and why it is important? Because once it comes from the passive source of income, your family is at least secure. कल को अगर आपको कुछ हो भी जाता है, then also that money will come, right? There is a positive cash flow. So your family is secure. So how you can calculate this amount? It is a very basic formula. You can take this, make a note of this, that whatever is your current monthly expenses plus keep a buffer of 20%. Monthly expenses means whatever you are giving, house rent, travel, food, EMIs, child school, whatever is there. And one of the secret areas is the yearly expenses, which most of the people forget, right? Yearly you go to some trips or you buy some expensive clothing. All these things you have to add and divide by 12. So that will also come as a monthly expense. And always you have to keep a buffer. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोग life of significance पहुंच गए और खाने के बांधे पड़ जा रहे हैं, right? If one more liabilities come in your pocket, there is a huge risk. So always keep a buffer of 20%. So for a normal married person, if you see, there is a 1 lakh plus 20,000 is the buffer. So 1,20,000 if you get from a passive source of income, then you should think for other stages of life. So I hope this formula is clear to everybody, right? Next, this question may frighten somebody, but if you see, it is very important to calculate this, because what is your current wealth? Abhi aap kya sthiti kya hai? What is your financial condition right now? Because currently, if you, whatever is your primary source of income, maybe job, business, whatever it is, if it is lost, then how many months can you survive with the current lifestyle? I'm not talking about degrading your lifestyle, right? So if your expenses is 60,000, then at least 1 year's cash should be available in your bank account, not in your trading account, okay, in your bank account. 60,000 into 12 is 7,20,000 should be in your bank account, right? So even if your job is lost, you have a complete peace of mind for at least 1 year to get another job or business, right? So that is your current wealth. Do calculate this and evaluate yourself, right? Now, life concluding this, the wheel of life, right? You must have seen this. There is a powerful quote, right? If you are born poor, it's not completely your mistake. But if you die poor, it's completely your mistake, right? So I would like to help all of you today that if you see, money is just one part. If you see this wheel of life, right? There are other 8 parts. ऐसा नहीं कि हम लोग मनी के पीछे भाग भाग के पैशन भूल जाए, हेल्थ भूल जाए, लाइफस्टाइल भूल जाए. All these things are not good, right? Money के साथ all these things are, means currently maybe it is a rectangle, triangle for you, but we should always focus to make it as circular as possible. So get in touch with the person who has invited you. They will explain you wheel of life in great detail. Okay. So the last thing that I will cover, if you see, कुछ है, पैसा मिल गया, I have given you all the concepts, how can you build wealth and all that, all those passive income sources, all things I have given. But if you see, even if you have not a dream, even if you have all the time and money, what will you do all day long? Have you thought? Most people सोचेंगे अरे क्या करना है, दिन भर सोएंगे खाली. So क्या वो, that is not a dream, right? It will not motivate you to work towards that. So you first of all, you have to have a big dream, right? Like Samiksha was showing, dream big. That's a very good thing. If you cannot dream big, आप सोचिए कि आपका अपना खुद का you will own a villa. Why not? You will have the Mercedes. Why not? Before the age of 40, right? You will get retirement before the age of 40. Why not? Why are you thinking about 50 years? So all these dreams you can get, and there is a powerful tool, the 30 dream list. So get in touch with the person who has invited you. They will give you the 30 dreams list. It is very powerful and you can connect very easily with it, even if you are not able to do it yourself, right? I would like to conclude my talk with a powerful quote. Some people dream of success. Other people wake up and achieve it. So that's it from my side. This is Prosenjit signing off until we meet again. Thank you.
Amazing, Prosenjit. Definitely, I was completely speechless because you beautifully summarized what Vijay taught. In fact, you did great job, and with your slides, I'm sure people have attended 2 weeks back. Now, when they're listening to you, they'll have all this crystal clear thoughts what Vijay exactly taught, and you exactly duplicated. And I won't, take.
Hey, hi all. I'm Sanjeev Reddy. I'm from Bangalore. Actually, I'm attending these PM classes from last 4 months. And book club also almost 4 months. Yeah, today my topic is Dream MRP. So, which is given by Prasenjit last week. So, and he given an exercise about this Dream MRP. So I try to do that particular preparing MRP for my dreams. So as he told, right? So he told basically some 5 to 6 steps while preparing this dreams and how you prepare the price for your dreams. So he told first, while preparing, you don't think about the current situations, just ignore everything and just dream what you want. And the other thing is don't think about how to achieve those dreams, but just dream why you need that. That is the second point. The other point he told is like a dream big, not like a very small dreams kind of thing. Dream in a big way. Those points, and then he told then rate your dreams, like calculate how much as per current market, how much value what is the price of your dream. So I started and he given a 30 rows sheet to prepare your dreams. Then I started. So when I started, I experienced really like, okay, first initial I started, okay, I need a big house. Okay, then that is, everybody has that, right? So then I started, yeah, I need my kids' education. Okay, I need money. How much, what they want to study, maybe they want to go abroad or whatever. So I put some amount for that and all. In this process, 2 things I actually interestingly came into my mind. I went very back, like I was having some time back, I was having a dream kind of thing, like a dream I have a dream, actually I need to have a home where I can cultivate my vegetables my own and eat the organic food. So I forgot actually that point, long back it has, I forgot that point. Now I just recollected. In this process, I recollected, yeah, I need to eat organic food. For that, I need to cultivate my vegetables in this one, and I need to have at least some 1-2 acres somewhere, maybe in village, my native, wherever, so that all organic food I can cultivate there and get and I eat. So, and even the other interesting point is, I asked my wife, what is your dreams and all. She used to say, I need some 2-bedroom flat and all, but no, think big and give me. Then she given a lot of her dreams actually. In that process, I understand her real dreams, not the budget dreams kind of thing. So these 2 points, I even in my own, I experienced, maybe everybody need to go to this dream MRP, like you sit your own for 1 day or think 1 or 2 days. What is your real dreams before you start your job, or before sometime when you are young, you have generally you will have very good high dreams and all. So yeah, so that is, I think, the importance of this dream MRP. Yeah, then I think, yeah, achieving maybe next part, that is yeah, surely will put many steps and all. So yeah, that's all I think, yeah, about this dream MRP.
Amazing, Sanjeev. I'm so happy because just few days back when Sanjeev was talking, he was sharing his practical dreams and all. But now I'm so happy that he has stretched his mind and then shared few of the dreams with us. It is really amazing, Sanjeev. Thank you so much for doing it. And definitely the next step is definitely to reverse engineer and find the way out. And we'll do that as well. Amazing, superb.
Thank you, Kiran. Firstly, I really need to appreciate Kiran, because having friends wedding, he still made time for this, because that's how passionate he is about this book club, the growth of people. So taking that into consideration, we both are Karthik and Sahana. We are basically from Bangalore. And I'm talking about this one beautiful book called Grit. What is grit? Grit is the courage to pursue your passion. And I've taken a very, I can say it's a very common topic, but not a lot of us actually, go through that. And the topic is interest. What do you mean by interest? I'm not talking about the bank interest. I'm talking about the interest that you have to, to do something, maybe something that you like the most. And if we see majority of any speeches that we hear, they first says follow your passion. And how do we find our passion? We need to foster our passion to know what it is. And I'll talk about Jeff Bezos. Everybody knows who Jeff Bezos is. He's the founder of Amazon. So he walked out of a high-paying finance job just to pursue his passion. And this path towards passion is a very, very I mean, I can say it's not a very secure route. It's the road less traveled, right? So he walked out, and he says that, whatever is that you want, and if you're not liking the thing that you're doing, then it's not called a passion, and you won't stick with it for long. And majority of us, we work or whatever, professionally that we are doing, we do it only because it's, financially lucrative to us. It's not like we are doing it out of interest. And a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about from 25 Ways of Winning with People. And I was talking about this thing where you put people in their interests, the productivity will be more. And while I was just reading this and preparing for this topic, I also got to know that through a survey, 87% of people are just doing a job or a thing that because they have to do. So they are either doing it not engaged or actively disengaged. So do you get that? They're either not engaged or absent-minded. So what happens? We are running with so many applications in a day, and we know, okay, next, this is the thing. I will close my eyes and do that work. How far are we giving and putting an interest to do it? So that's where naturally it goes through a period of time over maybe 10 or 15 years of work. We are all like, okay, I'm done. I know I want to do what I really want to do. So we come there, right, at one point of time. we come there, okay, let me figure out my passion. And so many people have this thought that passion is a one-time discovery and it comes just all at once. But it is not like that. It is years of effort and years of keeping it in us, that we have to build interest. So that's where interest comes in place. So to get the interest out, it's what we need to do is foster our passion. And for me, I am a person who's extremely active. I love sports, I love being outside, I love dance. So nowhere I like work. Sitting at a place is not my thing. So similarly, all of us have our own interests. Probably for Karthik, he loves book club. For me also, I like book club. It's not like I did not like. Initially, I was like, okay, is it really my thing? But over a period of time, what happens is when we get to explore the other side of the other side of the passion part, you will get your answers and you will understand more. So now I think for the last 2-3 weeks, I could not talk in the book club for a lot of office hectic reasons. And I was missing it so much. And I was like, okay, so I really love this. So I started building. So I got to know that it is my passion. And to build, as I said, to foster your passion will lead to your interests, and you will know what you're really interested in. And I really want to like to end it with this quote. Passion for your work is a little bit of your discovery. So that means you need to find out what your passion is. Second one, followed by a lot of development. So the passion needs a lot of development. It's not very instant. And then a lifetime of deepening. So discovery, development, and deepening your passion will increase interest and will increase productivity. You will enjoy living what you are and what you want to do. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Amazing, Sana, as usual, full of energy and full of inflection, voice inflection. I'm sure the passion inside your voice, inside the topic is so visible. I can see people smiling in the videos. So you did a great job, Sana. So Karthik, you can go next quickly.
So thank you, Kiran. It was like a wonderful book club. So to get all the topics into one place, we need to put action, right? So I'm going to talk about this from this book, Magic of Thinking Big, how to create an action habit. So what I'll do is I'll just take 2 case studies and then later we'll compare these 2 case studies. Okay. So with a slideshow. So there was this guy, Mr. P, okay, in Chicago, and he was unmarried in his late 30s. Okay. So why he was unmarried, let us see. So he was actually seeing a lot of girls, and one was close to marriage also, but just one day before it didn't work out. So finally, after seeing another set of girls, like, he finally got to see one, and he was like, okay, I think she's the one whom I am going to marry. Then everything was set. Then after like 4-5 days, he came up with some 5-page of document. What is the document about? What she is going to be, how I am going to see her, how we are going to spend time, how we are going to spend weekdays, how we are going to spend weekends, how much time we are going to invest, how much money we are going to invest, what habits she is going to break, what habits she is going to acquire newly. So it was like 5-page document. Okay. And he sent it to her. After sending, she was like, okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Okay. So then he was like, oh, marriage is a big thing. We need to be very careful, right? We agree that, yeah, marriage is a big thing. We need to be careful, but you can't be that careful, right? So many times what the author tells in the book, the test of a successful person is not to eliminate all the problems at the first, not like that. Eliminate whatever is possible and then move on. When the problems come, then we can tackle it. That's how we have to do. This is about Mr. P. Then the second case study is about Mr. A. Mr. A is married and he has a wife, has a kid, and he's living in a nice rented apartment. And they always wanted to buy, make one new home for themselves. Okay, but this day, one day, what happened? This Mr. A was writing a check for rent, and he realized, I can rather pay this to a bank, right? So finally, he decides and he goes to his wife and tells, next week we are going to buy a home. And his wife will be like, crazy, what happened to you all of a sudden? Next week we are buying a home. He was like, yeah, I've decided next week we're going to buy. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. Okay. So next week he like it actually does happen. Like by next week he finds a home near a neighborhood. But the catch is he has to pay $1,200 down payment. But he will not have that much money because his income is very modest. Then he realizes, okay, let me decide one thing. So actually he could have bought it from a friend, but he didn't want it to be on credit so that it will affect mortgage or something like that. So what he does, he goes to his boss. Here, actually, he before going to his boss, he will break a agreement with the builder. I will give $1,200, split it into a year, $100 every month with interest. The builder agrees. Then he will cut $25 expenses from his monthly expense. Still $75 is left, right? So he will go to a boss and make a deal. Boss, you see, you will give me a hike whenever you desire, like you think I deserve it. So what I do, I see some work which is possible to be done in the weekend. So his boss appreciates his sincerity and ambition, and then he tells, okay, I'll give that $75. You can work 10 hours in the weekend. So by doing this, he will find this dream home, and he will actually make it his home, its own home. Okay. So thing is, he actually took a strong decision. He realized it, and then this decision gave him new confidence, and this decision and this confidence made him to realize, like, see some new opportunities. Okay. So now to compare and end it, I just share my screen, and I hope you're able to see the screen. So we'll just quickly see what was the difference. Okay. So Mr. A takes action. Okay. Get things done. Mr. P postpone doing things until he has proved he shouldn't or can't do them. Okay. So Mr. A follows through on ideas and plans. He's a doer. Okay. Mr. P, he's a don'ter. Okay. Again, A plans vacation, takes it. Mr. P postpones it until next year. Okay. These are some examples between activationists and passivationists. Okay. Drops a note to someone he knows to congratulate him on some achievement. Who is doing activationist? What passivationist does, finds a good reason to put off writing it, and it never gets written. Okay. So what Mr. A wants to go into business for himself, he does. Mr. P, he discovers just in the nick of time a good reason why he had better not. Okay. So Mr. A again get things done that he wants. Mr. P, he doesn't get things that because he won't act. Okay. So Mr. A, as a byproduct of all this, he gains confidence, a feeling of inner security, and more income, obviously. But Mr. P, byproduct, he loses confidence, he destroys his self-reliance, and lives in mediocrity. Okay, so we know every day thousands of people bury good ideas because they're afraid to act on them. Okay, and afterward, the ghosts of those ideas come back to haunt them, right? So we know, like, so many things we have done before also. So if we know ideas but we don't act, guys, it will be like a psychological pain. But if we really act, it will give mental satisfaction to us. And if we have fear, acting cures fear. Without action, the fear will not go. So this is like more of a problem statement, what I told. Next week I'll cover about how we can develop the habits of action and cure it with my real life example. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share. Thank you so much.
Superb. Both of you complement your topics beautifully. In fact, one of the very nicely presented, Karthik. Get the action habit beautifully covered. I really loved it, the presentation, and then sharing. Bring people to summarize. Nasir and Prakash, the stage is yours. You can summarize, and you can go ahead so that all of us who are here for until the last, we get the glimpse of what we learned, and we can end it in a high note as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nasir or Prakash, anyone. Both of you can do it.
Yeah. So first speaker was Mahima. So she talked about how to win and influence people. So negative points versus appreciating people. Then second was Saurabh. He explained about the 4 kind of excuses people generally make, and he covered the health excuses. The next was Arun. He talked upon Rich Dad Poor Dad. So how rich people don't work for money. Then Charanjit, he spoke from how I ruin myself. Sorry, how I raise myself from failure to success. So he talked his story about the baseball player, how he was facing challenges due to he was feeling competition from other players, and he like excitement. There should be excitement. Whatever we do. Then next, I again spoke about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Then next was Revati. She talked about Think and Grow Rich and her struggle for getting job and how our subconscious mind versus logical mind works. Then Samiksha came up with creative PPT, and she covered the magic of thinking big, so positive highlights from there. Then Prakash I missed the book, but he covered like cooperating from people and being from dotted background. I could correlate his experience. So, then Prasenjit, he covered 5 stages and survival, security, success, significant, and spirituality. Then I think, yeah, that was the guest speaker, and he explained the income, financial literacy. He had a well prepared PPT, so that was very nice to understand. Then Sanjeev talked about his dream MRP, and then Suhana covered the grit. So whatever we are interested in, we should follow that and foster our passion. That was the topic related to. Then finally, Karthik ended with the magic of thinking big, and he compared Mr. P and Mr. A. So Mr. A will always act, and Mr. P will always find some reason to procrastinate. Is there anything I missed? Prakash, you want to add anything?
Prakash
No,
ji, you
everything
can add
everything
anything.
is covered. Yeah, everything is covered. I just wanted to add add to Sahana's point, like grit, where when she was explaining, I was remembering the session from Vijay, where he was talking about how to foster your passion. So that is not a one day thing. He has used one एक कहावत हिंदी में है, अगर पानी कितना गहरा है, अगर ये जानना है तो पानी में उतर के देखो तो आपको पता चल जाएगा. So that is how she explained all about that. So thank you very much.
Superb, amazing.
You made my
Superb.
day,
You did
Prakash.
both of you did a great job.